I got to. It would be illegal to not use that for a live edge slab. I'd like to get this bark off of here. Then we'll talk about it. Just take my word for it. I'm going to get the bark off. That's what we want. Isn't that a pretty sight? Got its own bullhorn. Anywho, we got this piece of ash skinned out, and I sure don't want to drop it. So we got 24 on the small end. We got 26 on the big end. I wouldn't call it straight, but I'm going to try to trim a little of this off here. We got the 361 out, and I didn't realize until Dave at Dave's Logging told me that this was a very sought after saw. I think I've had it, I'm not sure how many years, probably going on close to I don't know, but I'm saying it's at least 15 to 20 years old. I don't know, but anyway, it's sort of a lightweight saw, but power, man. $13 3/4. 20 inches to, so I'll tell you what, with ash, what you gonna do? I mean, you don't even know where the center's gonna be. Let me just show you what I'm looking at. I got 19.5 to right here. And I got 19 to right here. I don't know. I'm going to take a flat spot off of the top and see how it goes. Well, let me just try to sort of explain what I'm doing here. I got a fella that wants a couple of slabs off of this ash, and as you saw a minute ago, I've got some big ones. And I'm gonna tell you, these things I know have been on the yard for a year and a half. And when JC, my neighbor, not my other neighbor, but my neighbor JC, when he had these cut, I'm pretty sure there was not a single ash tree around here that was suffering from the emerald ash borer. That's not why he had it cut. He had it cut because it was over a building, and he was afraid once that thing fell on that building would be squashed. And so he had to get a professional tree service to come out because the lane was right over the top of the building, and they had to crane it down or something. I don't know, but as you can see, it was a big tree. This is actually a limb, okay? This is actually a limb off the stump. It come up stump about 10 feet and then it spread off 2 limbs. Anywho, I'm gonna try to get out of this a couple of slabs for my buddy that's wanting some slabs, and then the rest we're gonna stack it. And I don't really have anything for it. Well, I do have something earmarked for it, but I can't tell you about that just yet. Ready to go on this nippy day. I live in North Carolina. My wife informed me that this matches the earliest. We had a little snow last night, very little, but we did have a little bit. A dusting here in the mountains. I don't know how much they got, but they got snow. And this matched the earliest snow on record for our area. So, quite interesting. I don't do this too often, but we need to scope this out a minute because some people have questions. Can you saw a big log, a big hardwood? Well, that cut right there, 18 inches wide, almost 19 inches wide. And once it got started in the wood, of course that's a sharp blade. But it cut good. Boy, that's pretty. Come over here, Larry. That is gorgeous. Now what, Batman? I'm guessing the thing to do would be to take 7 inches is as deep as the throat will go, but 6 inches will get me down. I'm gonna go down 6 inches, which will put us right here above the pith. Move that one off, come back to it later, I believe. And my bet is, if there's any of you professionals, or the one or two of you out there that are professionals, you would know what to do with this log, obviously, how to get the maximum yield from it. Well, looks like King Tut's tomb. Now what, Batman? Now we get to decide what we're going to do. Alright, I'm going to contend with this big monster after I get it raised up. Lord, 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 Lord. That's $1 million piece of wood right there. I've got the live edge that I don't have an option. Can you see this from over there? Let me bring you in here. Why don't you look at that curl? Lordy, lordy, lordy. And that ain't the, I mean, you can see down here's the pit. It's about another 3 inches. But I'm going to take a 2-inch. I got to. It would be illegal to not use that for a live edge slab. Do you agree? I'm. And then when I get down beneath the pit, so I cut 2 inches here and cut another 2 inches. Well, I hate to keep putting that blade through all that width, because this sucker at this wide point here, see, we're right there at 25 3/4. So we'll come down 2 inches. That'll be a live slab. Come another 2 inches, and we'll have a board off of here and a board off of here, and then we'll get another 2-inch live slab, and that'll leave us whatever. Sound like a plan? I think it's sounding pretty good. I'm just one person. That is. You don't think it's flat? All right, come on over. Now, in my humble opinion, the reason that this is cutting flat, okay, you see that? The reason it's cutting flat is because of the shims in the bunks is everything is perfectly adjusted to that blade, and they come in here, and I've not cut or anything, and you can see where that bubble is. And the saw head, now this is scary here. And I'm telling you what, now we've looked at the geometry of stuff. Let's just look at the beauty of stuff. See, that's where that juvenile is. So I think what I need to do now is come down here 2 inches and cut this out, and then rip that, because this is quarter sawn right here. See how that grain is standing up just like that? All right, so I'll come down here and rip that there on each side of the core, and that'll give me 2 beautiful quarter sawn boards. You don't know what you get into until you get into it. The kid left out a little, I believe it was right at 6 this morning. Got back to the house after lunch, started milling. This is as far as I got. Looks like I'm just going to have to do a part 2 on this log.